But we're going to Cursed Hollow.
Cursed Hollow.
Hey. I'm actually really excited to see this battleground. I think this is one of the more intellectual and strategic battlegrounds that we have in the HGC rotation. We saw some very impressive macro play out of TSM. I think we'll continue to see that. And they're going up against an opponent who is very unabashed about their want to just team fight in dumpster people's faces.
I like that.
So they could just play around. Do they play around their opponent, or do they get caught up in these team fights? I'm excited.
We'll have to find out. We will have to find out. But yeah, this map has a lot of things for teams to skirmish over. So considering how you said LUL is a very skirmishy team, we're probably going to see some pretty intense action this game.
Looks like we're getting into the lobby now. Looks like it's going to be LUL on the left. And then we'll have TSM again on the right. And it looks like TSM selected the battleground. So we're going to see LUL with first pick, first ban. Again, like I said, this is one of those teams that just want to fight. They want to scrap. So getting that first pick could definitely set the tone. You might see like an early ETC, something like that. Something to make sure that when they engage, that the party's definitely going to go the way they want to do.
Absolutely. I think we could even see similar emphasis on heroes that we saw last game, just because of how frequently team fights occur over neutral areas again. You know, there's all the camps are basically is it contestable? Can be contested by either teams. This is a map where boss control is massive. So the likes of Alexstrasza, the likes of Hanzo, two new heroes that we've just seen entered the game. You can see those heroes show up. And TSM also drafted previously heroes that are really good for capturing those sort of things. Like the Brightwing can teleport in and use Emerald Wind. ETC controls those areas very well. Stage Dive is super good on him on this map, as well as Mosh Pit. Doesn't really matter what you go with. So I'm actually anticipating similar draft styles for this game, but of course, I don't know the tendencies of LUL, so we'll have to see what they decide to go with. Now, entering the draft, first pick, first ban, going to LUL.
Welcome to. With the philosophy that LUL has, which is we just want a team fight, we want to scrap, I'm wondering if their bans are going to be more centered around taking away disengagement options like a Brightwing. If you're looking to, have this heavy dive composition,
there you go.
You don't want to get polymorphed, and Tassadar definitely fits that build. They don't feel like dealing with Bubble Boy. They ban him out.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stall potential. As soon as level 10 hits, Tassadar comps are just difficult to deal with. But now LUL, like we said,
and
you get first pick, and there's a skirmish hero right there. Genji locked in, first pick for LUL.
When you first pick the Gungan, right out of the gate, you're just like, try and beat us. Because that is a hero that can be wrought with peril. Like if he gets power slid on and then silenced by Stukov, it's going to be hard to keep him alive.
Absolutely.
That is a vote of confidence. I like it.
ETC is a great pickup against Genji. He's one of the better warriors for dealing with Genji. And Stukov, again, just the silence is invaluable. The healing potential of Stukov is fantastic as well. And he's got pretty good wave clear in a meta that has reduced wave clear on support. So now, two more pickups for LUL. Perhaps they look at picking up a warrior because chances are TSM look to ban one if they don't. Dahaka's up, Greymane is up, fantastic with Genji. I wonder if LUL plays something like the Genji Abathur.
It could definitely do some work here. If you want to try to shore up that style of engagement, throwing the hat on Genji does wonders. Double Gingo in a team fight, something to deal with. But it's almost like the HeroesHype. They're going to go for Greymane. They also want that blow-up potential. With the Greymane, and they pick up the Dahaka for the global.
Yeah.
Kyle, it's almost like you coach this stuff professionally, man.
There you go. Maybe not. TSM now probably looking at a warrior or another support. Maybe the Murden gets removed, because LUL can follow up very well on that sort of CC. The Uther would also be a really good choice because of Genji. The deep shield could come in on the Genji, and Genji can basically just wreak havoc on TSM, so they just decided to remove that one for the team fighting potential. And now LUL decides to take away the Arthas.
I really like that ban for LUL. You do not want to have Greymane's attack speed slowed down. I think it's going to be absolutely critical to their success in team fights. A solid ban. We do see Brightwing and Vala again picked up for TSM. They're showing that they have preferences. If we we don't need to show anything else. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Wow.
That's what we're doing. Ooh.
Okay, Rhaegar picked up for NALOL, a hero that has lost a lot of value since recent changes, but they want to run with it. So he provides still quite a bit of pressure on the map with just the likes of his kit, right? You know, he can W himself and clear minion waves very well. But as I said earlier, like TSM, they just wanted a very comfortable draft. They wanted one that controls areas, and I didn't think that they would stray far from what they ran before. So they literally just did the same thing, but more of it. The Zarya locked in last, and then Johanna for NALOL. So a lot of staying power for NALOL. But the thing is, the difference between this draft and last draft is the fact that NALOL now has a response to the global of Brightwing in the Dahaka. So I don't anticipate TSM going up those huge level leads like they did before, just strictly based on laning.
That's a really good point. Dahaka's definitely going to serve as a foil for a number of reasons against this Brightwing. The 2.5 support style of Zarya could make it pretty difficult for Greymane and Genji to secure those early takedowns. The Johanna pick kind of surprises me to a degree. I thought we would see Murden get, show up there. I think he has more rumble capability. And it's almost like these teams have forgotten Malfurion's existence.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I think
I
the Malfurion would have fit much better.
Rhaegar. Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. Absolutely.
You got the new cleanse, the consistent damage if you take that talent at level 1. He kicks out a lot of sustained healing across a range of people. I don't know. I feel like right now Malfurion has a lot more to bring to the table than Rhaegar does. So,
yep.
But if that's the hero you're good at, that burst response, ancestral healing is going to be nice for Genji. You can make it work.
And TSM decided to put all their eggs in one basket with a single, real damage dealer in Vala. So we'll have to see how that one pans out for them.
Second game of the night. On the left, we have NALOL. Zerglings on Dahaka Pumpkin Slayers playing Greymane. Mitchie D's is on Genji. Sirius is playing Johanna. And Dan Clan is going to take a bite out of crime on Rhaegar.
And on the right in red, we got TSM. It's Max Zorian on the Vala. No Miracle playing Brightwing. Van Dragon on Stukov. We got Warrior on ETC and Ephemeral playing the Zarya.
Let the battle begin.
The interesting laning matchup shows, laning priority shows yet again. TSM does not look to be a team that wants to get that, level 1 scrap in the middle of the map. They do have Zarya, though, so they can go up there, eat some of these tower shots, get some free damage, and they do exactly that. The nice Jirak goes in from Zergling, gets a decent damage put on ETC. Nice response.
Yeah, those new towers really chunking up there, below 50% health in just a matter of moments. So nice response there from NALOL to land the drag. And Danklan now taking a little bit of damage on the Rhaegar, but manages to get away to safety. And NALOL with the dig down bottom, they've got Zergling pushing the wave here against Brightwing. Genji floating around, just looking to get some chunk damage.
In the top lane, the Condemn connects and it allows Greymane to get a ton of damage in, but the return response is there from TSM. Max Zorian is showing, he's the only assassin in his composition. The way he's been playing, he's making a strong argument for why that's the way to go for TSM.
A little bit of an engage and skirmish up here for NALOL. Neither of these teams willing to commit to their easy camp. Sirius in a bit of trouble, but there goes the passive drop there for the Johanna. But yeah, as I was saying, neither of these teams picking up their easy camp. So TSM getting the better of this engage. I would have expected Greymane to perhaps just back up and try to grab their camp and risk a little bit of push in, but perhaps not. So pretty equalized out in the top lane here.
It's the Zarya factor. Ephemeral's been pretty much hanging out at full energy this entire time. All the reason the NALOL banned out Tassadar are here in the form of Zarya. So they're definitely dealing with something they don't feel like going up against. But the Condemn goes in once more. Pumpkin Slayer jumps in. Good amount of damage. Zergling looks to get the Q, and he does. The Bubble Queen gets blown up.
Excellent teleport up by the Dahakas. Now I'd expect Mitchie D's on the Genji to rotate bottom, make sure no clear gets missed, and then NALOL are going to rotate one, grab their siege camp, and also make sure they catch middle. Chances are, we'll see how they do it, but I love the fact that NALOL are picking up their siege camp here, so they're going to have that advantage over TSM moving into the first tribute phase.
That early takedown has huge implications in this current gameplay update. With the siege camps showing up at level 1, you know where the tributes are. Getting that takedown denies the real opportunity for TSM to go and get their siege camp, being down a person. So that opens up a lot of macro potential and opportunities. And they're already going for the bruiser camp. They are aggressive with these camps.
Yep, that's a little ambitious, I would say, but Dankman now shows up on the Rhaegar. Decides to help out Pumpkin Slayer as the Grey main, trying to take that mid camp. But NA LUL are going to have so much pressure in the mid lane here. They're probably going to be able to take this entire wall.
This is one of those instances where you don't mind if a team fight goes the distance because you're going to get a good amount of value with that push out of the Bruiser camp if you're on the side of NA LUL. First tribute is going to show up now. Dan Clan looks to rotate in, could potentially get slid on.
Can Johanna stall with a blind? One blind? Oh no, she decides to use it with the ball instead. Oh, he's with the stall there with the E from Genji, so really nice job by NA LUL. Meanwhile, look at mid, it's going to be crashing in very soon.
HB's got the interrupt to potentially open up a lot of macro pressure. There's a nice condemn, low health bars on the side of TSM. A polymorph goes back on to Johanna. There's the Stukov E to try to further dissuade this advance from NA LUL, who now see themselves pretty chunked out. This could be TSM's moment.
I mean, NLL don't even have to take this. They have top pressure, they have mid pressure. Like, I just expect them to stall as long as possible because they are gaining infinite value. There goes the drag onto ETC, but no follow-up. Now Rehgar is in a lot of trouble. Vala has stacks. She's doing damage. 1W, and Q is missed! Rehgar escapes with 250 HP.
Not even close, bro. I've done my calculations. Quick math say I escape. Van Rehgar is going to be able to pick up the first tribute of the game, however. Johanna tried to get that blind, then just 3.2 pixels off, I'd say, give or take. I'm a fan of specificity.
Yeah, NA with the mid pressure there, they do take that entire wall, so around equaled out here, I would have to say. The team fight from NA is extremely strong. You know, TSM did put a little bit of emphasis on their laning with the Zarya, so they might lose some value when the team fights come, depending on how these teams play it out. But now, defensive positioning for TSM. This is one of those opportunities, or one of those spawns where NA would traditionally give up the tribute, but they don't want to give 2 out of 3 to TSM.
Absolutely, but Kyle, I gotta ask you a question, man.
What's up?
When's the last time you saw Sins Exposed pick up at level 4 for Johanna? I saw the little like cross icon on the tower. I was like, what is going on? But anyway, up top there's a good drag on Vanguard, and it's gonna be enough to send Stukov back to base. As the second tribute shows up, this could very well pave the way for the first tribute of the game for NA LUL. War is going to move in there, pose a bit of a threat, be a nuisance.
NA really need to push up here to get War out of the way on the ETC. You know, okay, now he's not going to get it all. Mitchie D is with the cap. So far, Zergling making fantastic plays for his team. That's 2 teleport, that's 2 brush stalks and 2 kills for this Dahaka. So really nice job for Zergling here. So.
Yeah, it's a style of play that TSM did not have to deal with last time. Zergling's making all sorts of plays. He shows up on one side of the map. You hear that burrow sound. He's putting the fear of the Nexus in TSM, I'll tell you that much, because he steps out of that brush. Well, oh no, maybe he's not. Because the dinosaur gets dumped on in the top lane. Oh no.
How classic is that, eh? But camp picked up for NA LUL, so TSM are gonna have to decide, are we picking up this tribute? It is defensive side for NA LUL, so it's a really good time for NA LUL to probably pick this up for free. TSM probably don't want it, especially with this top camp pushing, so I would expect TSM to give up this next tribute.
Yeah, they'd be overreaching in my opinion if they try to put too many resources behind this. Sirius looks to go in. There's the drag potentially, and it connects. Zarya again gets taken down thanks to this global pressure. Zergling's like, I'm back, baby.
And there's very little that this ETC can do against a well-played Genji here with the stall. War actually scouts him out, but the jump over the wall from Ichidi's is enough. And now with this defensive positioning, there's nothing ETC can do to pick up the tribute. So another one going over to NA LUL. Now with this bottom side emphasis, do they look to take away take their camp in 8 seconds? The Bruiser camp? Maybe, perhaps not. Rehgar rotating top instead.
They very well could. Level 10 is picked up first for TSM, who have already made the rotation to start their boss set. Level 10, we got Rain Avengers, Emerald Wind. Not surprised to see that. Flailing Swipe this go around. Mosh Pit and Expulsion Zone, but this macro decision has been sniffed out. Here we go.
And both of these globals are ready to rip in a few seconds here. So 4 seconds left. There goes the combination onto Max Zorian. A lot of damage taken, but Zarya's shield is there. 200 health left on the Vala. Can Sirius get the kill? One more auto attack is enough. 30 damage left. 40. Get it. There's the blind and the kill. Excellent ancestral healing there from Rehgar as well.
Johanna changed the AA batteries like flashlight for the 5th kill in favor of NA LUL. As the tribute spawns, the Haka's already waiting in the wings for that. The Bruiser camp's getting stolen away as well. As aggressive a team fighting composition as LUL likes to be, they're definitely applying pressure on multiple portions of the map, and with this curse around the corner, things can get even worse for TSM.
This is a defensive spawn for TSM, so technically it is in their favor, but do they have the resources and the positioning to capitalize on it? I'm not sure. Heroics used on either side, but Expulsion Zone is up, and so is Mosh Pit, so the playmaking is there, but no Miracle gets caught out. The Emerald Wind comes out, 800 health left, and she does survive. Now Dan Clan's in a lot of trouble.
No Miracle finds a miracle in that escape. Mosh Pit goes out, gets interrupted almost immediately, and the Demon goes down. Dragon Blade comes out, Mitchie V slicing and dicing on Stukov's face. Now he turns his attention over to ETC, but no filet mignon in this team fight. 12 to 11, Tribute gets picked up, LUL curses the red team.
This is really bad for TSM. Look at this top wave. Dahaka teleports top because he didn't have to use it on the bottom side. Mid is already pushed in. TSM are going to lose an immeasurable amount of pressure off of this curse.
Oh, it's going to be tough. Ephemeral is going to be able to get out of there. Pinball Wizard gets some value on the Mitchie V's, who decides to exit stage left, and Vala sends him packing for real and gets a second takedown for TSM. A light and beacon of hope potentially, but 35 seconds still in this curse. The drag misses from Zergling. No Miracle doing what they can to slow down this top lane push, but right now, this is full defensive mode for TSM.
Yeah. ETC now flanking around. The vision is there for TSM, though. Sirius with the sneaky back on the siege camp, but the value definitely isn't as much as they could have gotten if Genji stayed alive, but still, top fort gone, mid fort gone, bottom fort gone, so the map has definitely opened up for NALUL, and now Pumpkin Slayer has started the boss for NALUL. They have the 13 advantage as well, so TSM probably aren't going to try to contest.
I don't think they can rotate in time. This is already less than half health. They don't have the level 13 talent. They'd be doing it at their own peril, but either way, World's Sherlock Holmes hat on decides not to investigate any further. I think that was a sound decision, all things considered.
And here comes a double boss play from NALUL. They push out the bottom. They realize we want to just trade this while we can, and they're just going to wait to see vision of TSM, I assume, before they start, because 13 is so close, and as soon as they see people on bottom, they're going to start their boss.
No
Brightwing is the target.
Oh! Get silenced right after. Brightwing tried to throw out the Emerald Wind to save their bacon, but no dice. Level 13 shows up here late. The bottom boss is going to receive some attention from the remaining members of TSM. That'll buy license for NALUL to secure the boss in the top right corner of the map. I'm looking at the talents column. As much as a problem Pumpkin Slayer's been in this game on Greymane with Go for the Throw, running wild is going to make him that much more dangerous.
Absolutely. The damage numbers are there, and now the safety is also there. So, Dahaka walks mid to get that additional pressure. Looking at that 16, I love the fact that NALUL are pushing top side here, but at the same time, 16 isn't there. So TSM are probably going to be looking to make a fight past boss. Watch NALUL's positioning here. It's going to be paramount.
Right after this stun, the E's already used on Stukov, however, that could have paired well with a Mosh Pit or Power Slide combination, so that's a lot of lethality taken away. The boss barrels down the top lane, gets a good amount of damage onto this keep. The shield, the vulnerability gets used by Sirius. This is going to be a big moment. I think they're coming away with at least this keep. Double silence goes in, and they escape.
A slight missed opportunity from TSM, I would have to say. Like, it was 15.7 for NALUL, and there was a slight opportunity for TSM to just force a fight past the boss, but they missed out on it. A little bit unfortunate there. But so keep goes over to NALUL, and that's going to be a lot of pressure. But keep in mind, TSM do have the Brightwing to respond to that top lane pressure.
You make a really good point, Kyle. Those are instances where a good team like TSM becomes a great team when they identify an opportunity like that. One way or the other, I'm pretty sure that top keep was going to go down. So why not take the even tier fight? Get some takedowns, try to swing things back in your favor from there. They decide not to, and they don't get anything to show for it.
They could have lost the game if they ended up dying there, but there is an excellent Emerald Wind. The silence to follow up. Pumpkins, as we said, was going to be really safe, but here comes Genji. The follow-up damage. There's one E. Here's another one. Genji is cleaning up this team fight.
Mitchie V's rolls his face on the keyboard with the Dragon Blade and two members of TSM in dramatic fashion. Pumpkin Slayer somehow lasted way longer than I thought he would have before finally getting taken down, but at the end of it, it's going to be 2-1 in favor of NALUL, and they want to help themselves to yet another tribute.
Yep, and they're just on their way to level 20 as well, NALUL is. So They're probably going to look to pick up their bruiser camp and just continue painting this map blue. TSM are going to have to send somebody top in order to clear that, so they're just going to be able to rotate on the map further, take this eye, maybe even look at the siege camp off of it.
I'm really liking these talent choices. From NA LUL, the long drag, Zergling's already been landing, adding insult to injury potential. Alpha Killer's going to raise the brow of ETC, imposing presence, slows down the damage output from Volume. Solid choices all around, I'd say.
Absolutely. 16's coming in soon for TSM. They're desperately needing that experience. They pick up their siege camp just as a means to just take away a resource that NA LUL wanted off the map. So it's not like the push bottom side is going to be very overwhelming for TSM, but they just wanted to take it away anyways. So now NA LUL just positioning mid, looking to find a pick if possible.
Yeah, TSM understands their position. They may as well, that tribute may as well not even exist. As a TSM, they have no interest of going that far out in the map. They need to get on even talent tiers, and that's going to allow NA LUL to lean forward with this bruiser camp that they've picked up. They're going to look to do some damage to this keep. If they can get a few takedowns, the top keep already gone. This could have game-ending consequences if they lose a few heroes.
It's 2 out of 3 tributes, and Bala doesn't really have the option to destroy the wizard in this night camp. So the spell shield is there for NA LUL. They're just able to push this in so easy, and look how much damage that keep took.
They are able to save it, though, to their credit, but that is more damage than I think TSM initially thought was going to happen. Mitchie D's cheekily enough. I just want to get that 72 extra shuriken damage. Like, don't mind me. You can only power slide out on my face. Mitchie D's living on the edge out here.
He's got the Shingan. He's looking to do a little bit extra damage if he lands all 3 of those shuriken. But now look at the positioning from NA LUL. They know that TSM are going to look for hard engagement here. Is Ephemeral caught out? Ooh, decides to walk away. This is a little bit of a game of chicken here.
That was a Kitsune spoof in the chat, man. Ephemeral got a little too close. They could have found out that the Chinese bush meta is still alive and well in 2018. Ephemeral's going to start to channel that. Sirius rotates around the corner, and half the health bar gets evaporated off of Zarya, and then they go home. Soria's going to be the next target. The mosh pit is not going to do too much. Ancestral Healing connects. Vandragore, ETC, running like their hair is on fire. Huge team fight for NA LUL.
Yeah, and those are level 16 death timers. So NA LUL just looking to push mid here. They've got the curse. They got their eyes on the game. That Genji and Greymane combination is just too formidable to deal with.
They first pick Genji. You said it in Dread, that is a vote of confidence, and Mitchie D is like, see what I mean? Shields goes down, 3 heroes down, still on the side of TSM. I do not see an iteration of reality. If this game continues any longer, GGWP posted in the chat, and I agree.
That was a very clean game from NA LUL. The early game was, they didn't get to take their camps as early as they wanted. Obviously, you're playing against a Zarya. It's not as easy as I said it was. Because if you let the Zarya just push in, she's going to do just so much damage to your structures, and chances are you can actually lose an experience lead quite easily against a Zarya like that. So I liked the fact that NA LUL actually defended against the Zarya in that 3-person aggression from TSM topside. Off of that kill from Zergling teleporting top as the Dahaka, they managed to pick up the camps top and mid, and off of that, like, the pressure was just absolutely insane. They don't take the first tribute, but that mid camp takes an entire wall, Lauren. That is so much just map openness that NA LUL got from the first tribute. Like, that's something that you usually don't get. So really nice job by NA LUL just to recognize that win condition. They picked up the 2 camps and basically just snowballed their victory from there.
At first glance, you don't think that really adds up to being too much, but when you get those structures taken down early on a battleground like Cursed Hollow, where you can shut down enemy structures, that's going to pave the way for a pretty good time towards the late game if you're able to keep that trend up. TSM, they definitely showed the merits of their composition early. They're able to put a lot of pressure in the top lane. In skirmishes outside of a 5v5, they performed well. But that was a game that really shows why Genji gets banned a lot. Because in a team fight, if he starts getting those cooldown resets and he sees low health bars and he breaks out that Dragon Blade, that Gensu knife is real. He was going in.
And the shields were so good for NA LUL as well. Like, it seemed like Brightwing didn't even exist that game. And it wasn't because of the way that Brightwing played. I actually feel like it was the way that the Uther and the Genji communicated together. So, like, they waited for those big, disruptive abilities to go out, and then all of a sudden you hear the Dragon Blade come out, Genji dashes onto the backline, and it's like, oh, dang it, it's one of these games again. You know, like the combination of the Uther and the Genji, something you don't actually see a whole lot of lately. Like Uther's kind of fallen out of style, but the way that NALL made it work there was fantastic.
Absolutely. Michid's played Genji to great effect. He had the patience and poise to wait for the right moment. Normally, Power Slide was already used, Polymorph was already taken off the board as well, and he's like, all right, now I get to jumping on the back line and crack these knuckles and have a pretty good time. A more eager, more zealous Genji could have found themselves the recipient of a pretty swift counter engagement with the composition that he took. I agree with you though about the Brightwing pick. It's not that it was played poorly.
No.
It's just in the first game, we saw Emerald Wind have a huge impact in team fights as far as displacement and buying time to set up a kill. We saw Emerald Wind using this game as a last-ditch effort to save their own life, and it didn't really work out all the time.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's a couple of power plays there made by NALL. So like early game, obviously, the 2 Dahalka teleports were fantastic. They pick up those 2 kills for them, which against a Zarya hard push comp, that is the last thing you want, especially with the Brightwing. Like, Brightwing should be able to teleport onto targets and kind of save them sort of thing, but the Dahalka plays were just too good, right? And then second, when the first boss gets picked up for NALL, they let it push bottom, and then they rotate top. They don't show anywhere, right? But they all rotate top, and then they wait for their opponents to show on the wave. Brightwing shows top lane, and then the rest of TSM show bottom lane. And with all of NALL already topside, they're like, yeah, we'll aggressively rotate on the Brightwing. Yeah, we'll kill her for sure, boys. So they do that. They rotate, they get the kill, and then they take the boss top as well, pick up the 16 to 14, and then that advantage off of some kills after they're like level 17 to 14. That's very difficult to come back from.
You know what's impressive about that to me, Kyle, is that even this time last year, the average amateur team would not have thought to manipulate the map in such a way. They would have just rotated up. They would have shown themselves rotating in lane. But by hiding themselves, it put TSM in a really difficult position because they were like, if we step out here and really try to burn down this boss, we can get jumped on right away. Like, we don't know. And that's passively giving more value to the boss because now it's going to get closer towards the keep. And then once we see TSM on the map and you do see Brightwing showing up alone, rather than immediately going for the boss, NALL had the presence of mind to just say, hey, let's pick up this dragon real quick before we go to the boss.
Wait, I'm crazy. I was talking about Uther and Genji. Am I crazy? Yeah, I am crazy.
Anna and Medivh together
Rhaegar.
Forever?
Not
you got the heals?
Oh my gosh, I'm so confused.
You got the shields?
Was I saying... I actually meant to say Rhaegar and Ancestral that entire
I knew what you meant.
Wait, no, but I messed it up. Man, what was I thinking about? Why was I thinking Uther? The enemy team had that.
It's fine. No, Uther got banned.
Uther got banned. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so flustered. Maybe I should stop drinking coffee. I've had a long day.
You don't want anyone to hurt your team. Anna Medivh. I still think about that song, man. But we're in the next lobby.